Hello, everyone. Apparently, you've been waiting for a while. Welcome to Plate Stack Chat. My name is Jason, and on this show, I like to find some great people and bring them on for a chat. Now, over the last few weeks in the lead up to the big Grid League event in Las Vegas, I've been working my way through the different teams, and today I am doing shows with the remaining two teams. So, first up, and the show we're doing now, is with the Orlando Aces, who have come on in force. I think it's the most guests I've had on a single show, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. There'll be no problems at all. So, first up, we have a strength specialist and head coach who has been around the Grid League for a long time. In fact, back in the days of the National Pro Grid League, she was part of the DC Brawlers Championship team, being named the league's first MVP in 2014 and best barbell specialist in 2014 and 2015. Still going strong. It is 2022's Coach of the Year, Taylar Stallings. And she should be there. Taylar, I can't see you. What's happened? There we go. Oh, you appeared and then you didn't appear. That had me worried. Oh, are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm here. All I heard was, hopefully we won't have any troubles, and then everybody went out. It's like, oh, no.
Okay. Oh, but you're here now, so that's good. I'm not gonna lie. We've got 3 more people to introduce, and now I'm worried. But anyway, Taylar, welcome. I also realized I didn't check the pronunciation of anybody's names today, which I usually do. So I'm guessing on everybody's last name, but here we go. Anyway, Taylar, welcome. Obviously, if we're talking about the Aces, you've got to be here. But you are not alone. You've brought with you quite a number of guests. So let's meet our next one. We've got another strength specialist for the Aces, and he claims that he is bringing full send energy all summer. And while he's made it difficult to do a good intro due to the lack of information on his bio, a quick glance at his Instagram tells me he is an LC graduate. I think he played American football, and he kind of does fitness. It is Ryan DeMattie. Good enough? Close enough? And I can't hear him. Ryan, we can't hear you. Am I the only one that can't hear Ryan? Taylar, can you hear Ryan?
We can't hear you. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay. While Ryan sorts out whatever's going on that we can't hear him, we'll just bring in another guest. That's why we've got so many. He's muted. Is he? I can't even see He's not muted. Not according to this. He's not. Now he's muted. Now he's not muted. So it's something on his end, Corey. Ryan, we'll leave you to work that out. What a smooth running ship we have today. This is wonderful. Anyway, in contrast to Ryan, our next guest is a utility player that has potentially the longest bio I have seen on the Grid League website, where I learned that she did gymnastics, competitive cheerleading, and of course, CrossFit. She is the co-owner of New Body Fitness. It's Jazmin Simpson. To find you, I've got so many little boxes down here.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can
hear
you.
That's funny. Good. I didn't realize that my bio was that long.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I would have noticed it was that long if it hadn't been that I was trying to find something on Ryan and I opened his bio and it was like one line. I was like, oh, this is not helpful. And then I read yours and I was like, wonderful, but I don't have time to read this all. So
exactly, it's a lot.
I was just cherry picking the key points.
I'm a rookie, so I was like, let me just give all the information.
Yeah, rookie of the year according to
not yet. Hopefully, but they haven't.
Sydney's making the call, so you know.
Okay, thank you, Sydney.
And I feel bad for our last guest because he was the first one here. He's been called out in the comments that we're probably late because of him, but that isn't the fact. It isn't the case at all. He was definitely the first one to log in. He logged in before me. It is another utility player who finished a very respectable 478th worldwide in the Open this year, and he has competed at semi-finals both as an individual and on a team. He's also an affiliate owner representing both the Aces and CrossFit. Is it Lafayette? His affiliate? I think so. Something like that. It's another Taylar, but this time with an O. Taylar Sturgis.
What's up? I was the first one here.
You were the first one here, and now we're all here. Okay, hold on. Before I start asking lots of questions about the Aces, I just have to scroll back through a lot of comments. So something went wrong on the scheduling, apparently. Jake's been waiting since 8 a.m., so I don't know why that's the case. Jake's in the UK. No, well, he's in the UK, so it's 5 p.m. now. So he's been waiting for a while. It's good that he's still here, though. And there was something else. Oh, Jeffrey's here. Hello, Jeffrey from Texas. I should have been worried. I wasn't worried about introducing Sturge. It's fine. So you know Corey Taylor.
I do. We call him some guy named Corey because he just seems to be everywhere. So I've met him over the years, and he actually does the program that I participate in as well, Imamco.
Right. Ah, okay. Okay. It's all coming together now.
Yep.
Jason says there were 2 other women on the poster. Ah, okay. Jake, I know what's happened there then. So that's 8 p.m. So that's a mistake that I've made. I'm going to fix that. That will be happening later today, that we have 2 representatives of the Breakers. We're not going to talk about that now because we've got the Aces here. I don't want to start a fight. So
don't do it.
Exactly.
Look at Jazmin, how her arms are crossed. She's ready to go.
Let me uncross them.
Yeah, so I will. I'll go and fix all of that a bit later. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Welcome, team. You're off to Vegas very soon.
1 week.
Yeah. In fact, that's why I'm doing 2 episodes today, because there's not going to be time to fit one in next week with everyone traveling to Vegas. Looking forward to it.
Yes, ready to get it done.
Yeah, Taylor, you've been. How do I differentiate this? Okay, Big Boss Taylor. You've
Perfect.
been around Grid for a long time. Is this the biggest event that you've done with Grid, or were there bigger things in the past? I know it's the biggest thing I've seen kind of them do since I stumbled across Grid.
This is the biggest as far as United Grid League and the FGL is concerned. I was a part of the NPGL, the National Pro Grid League, when it first began. So we won 2 championships there. So that was, we traveled around there. So this is our first big time going outside of the state of Florida for the United Grid League. So that's going to be fun, just being able to get outside of Florida and showcase some.
Okay, sorry, that was very interesting what you said. I'm trying to multitask because I'm also reading the private chat from Ryan to try and work out why his mic's not working. Can you hear me now? Right, can you hear us? Oh,
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, I was worried for a long time.
I'm known for lifting heavy things. Technical service is not my forte.
That's fine. I mean, I don't have anything particularly heavy that needs lifting right now, but if I do, now I know who to call. It's a bit of a trip for you, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, so that it will be.
So, are you looking forward to lifting something particularly heavy in Vegas? You've seen the format of the races? You know which elements are showing up.
Absolutely.
So I've sort of understood that there's one day that's particularly heavy, one day that's a bit more gymnasticsy, if that's a word. I'm assuming I know which one you're looking forward to.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Now, don't get me wrong. I love watching the gymnastics people get after it just as much as I love lifting stuff, because some of the, in my opinion, we lift heavy things, but it's just lifting heavy things. Whenever you've got, people doing aerials and all the different rig complexes, those things, it absolutely baffles me because I get nervous anytime my feet leave the floor.
Yeah. So you're not one of those strength specialists that sort of picks up when they realize one of the body weight guys has they haven't done that final rep they were supposed to do. They've already run back. So that's not going to be you. You're just calling them back up.
We're going to teach him a backflip very soon.
On a bar, on a rig, we are in severe trouble. Something's happened that is catastrophic, and yeah.
Yeah, we have a rule that we have certain athletes that try to go. We tell certain athletes, we want your feet on the ground, and we have other athletes keep their feet off the ground.
Okay, I think I got that. Taylor, you're breaking up a little bit for me. I don't know about everybody else.
Taylor's not a fan of the thick nastics.
Don't let these thighs fool you.
Okay, let's throw over to Jazmin then, because you are in stark contrast to this. That you know, you love having your feet off the floor, right? That's where you're going to be happiest, I guess.
Yes.
So,
Jazmin does a little bit of everything for us. So she did the aerials for us. Now clear a ladder.
right. Oh, you could do everything. Oh, who are you all doing the ladder?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's been this sort of, I don't know, this thing about for many, particularly like the bodyweight people, it was like this: can they make it to the ladder? Kind of are they going to be good enough? So, my doorbell's ringing. Sorry. I don't know if that's coming through. Well, I thought I'd muted that before coming on. Yeah, I just noticed this sort of trend, like speaking to the different teams, that there was kind of a lot of either the bodyweight or utility players. It was like a goal: can I make it to be included in the ladder? Like, if I get to the ladder, that means I'm now one of the strong people, as well as a high flyer, which is great. Okay, Arthur is here as well. So, who? Okay, I've got a point sort of in the corner. So, bottom left, Taylar. I've got to change names. What are we calling you? Sturge? Is that fine?
Yeah, Sturge, T Sturge. I get all of them.
Okay. Sturge, I heard, I think, over the voice of Taylar that you were saying you're going to teach Ryan a backflip.
That's the goal, right? Right, Ryan? Look, I've learned it. I learned it just in case I'm ever needed. So I think, Ryan, next year this should be a goal of yours. But Taylor's looking at me with with those eyes, and you know everybody's scared of Taylar, so I'm gonna just cut it right there.
Exactly. Cut that.
Well, it's only because I've just seen Arthur pop up in the chat, and I know we talked about this goal for him of learning a backflip, and that's just because I think it would be fascinating to watch somebody who's like 6'5" do a backflip. So I think if he can do it, which I mean he can't yet, but if he can do it, then Ryan, go for it.
Look,
in the off season, and when it won't affect a match in any way.
Right.
Learn to do it.
Disclaimer.
With a lot of support at a gymnastics gym.
Very
with
soft floor.
With a soft floor, springs under it, all that.
Yeah. Why not?
It's like the bodyweight people trying to get on the ladder, you know.
Exactly.
Ryan's trying to get on the floor for a backflip.
What's the like the most, I guess I'd say, gymnastics adjacent thing you do within the races then, Ryan?
I mean, honestly, I couldn't burpees over box jumps occasionally. That's one of the more beautiful things. Like, you know, whenever you're training in the box, whenever we're doing, you know, I'm hitting a wad or something at the gym, you know, you might have pull-ups and ring muscle up or bar muscle up. So, you know, it might pop up in a workout, and if that's the case, I'll do it then. But that's the thing that I love about grid is it's like, hey, if you've got something you're good at, just be good at it. Just perfect your art form to the best that you can, and you don't have to worry about it. You know, now obviously there's sometimes you get thrown into things, so it's always good to have that skill. And I think that's pretty much everybody who does grid. That's kind of always the goal because it's still very rooted in CrossFit. You're still trying to work on all aspects of fitness, but that was the one thing, you know, when I first met with Taylar, she was like, no, you're not doing any of that. You're lifting, we're doing heavy, anything heavy, your name goes next to it. And I was like, say less.
I mean, I feel like I want to ask Sturge how he feels about that as an affiliate.
What I've learned about Grid League is it's not CrossFit. So we do a lot of well-rounded things in the CrossFit gym. I've had to change my training quite a bit to get ready for these Grid League matches. So after match one, it was totally different. I stuck to what what Taylar would assign me. I worked on sprints and short time periods rather than trying to spread it out and do it all.
I mean, that's a really good excuse. I might start using it when I go to the box and be like, so I'm doing a bit of grid training at the moment. That 20-minute AMRAP that you programmed, just
Not gonna
Yeah.
do
I
that.
see
Not gonna be
that.
on the floor that long. Yeah.
Anytime you see a 400-meter anything, be like, see in grid,
I
Joe,
just
it's-
need 80-foot shuttles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
400 meters. I'm going 4 quadrants. That's it.
Yeah. I'm just like reflecting on this week's programming. Monday we had 400-meter runs in between, like every round, and then Wednesday was a 20-minute AMRAP. So the only day Ryan and I would have trained together would have been Tuesday. It was just back squats. So
Now it's
Taylar, that was the first thing Taylar told me was, "Hey, you're going at CrossFit speed. This is grid." So
speed up. Oh. Yeah, that's good. Let's throw over to Jazmin again. I'm intrigued to know. I mean, I want to ask about competitive cheerleading as well. Coming also because you have to remember, like, already it's weird that I watch grid from the UK. It's sort of like that was an interesting journey to stumble across that. But we don't really have cheerleading here, like at sports events, even that kind of cheerleading. So the competitive cheerleading, we've only seen it in like, I want to say it's called Bring It On, but I can't quite remember. Is that the yes?
Yeah.
That was like the UK's introduction to cheerleading. Okay, hearing some. Corey, I can hear an echo as well. I don't know where it's coming from. And now it sounds like I can hear a heartbeat. So
can you tell me to turn the music down? That might be me. Our class just got started, so they're bumping.
Yeah. No, tell them they have to
that
train
was
in silence.
serious.
It's a party over here at the gym. Let me go turn them down real quick.
library
Real.
class.
Okay. Right. Hold on. Let me see if I can mute him a second. Yeah, it's definitely his.
It's
Look
so
at that.
much better.
It's
All right,
definitely the OR. See, that's why I can't be an OR. It's always the ORs that start in trouble.
There you go. There you go. Ted, I'm noticing that everyone is, I don't want to say afraid of you. That's not the right word, but clearly you're the leader. And if Taylar says don't do it, don't do it. Okay, he's back. Hold on. Let me.
Is that better?
It's a lot better. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
And now what did you tell them?
I was like, "Hey, pipe it down. We got to turn this down." But normally it's blasting at the gym in here, so we're Southern hip hop. This is the culture.
This is the culture. Okay, this is interesting. What's the workout?
Today they're testing a 1-rep clean power or squat. So it is getting loud and rowdy in there.
Did you get Taylar to do the programming?
I should.
Okay, what we did today?
I should. I find now, ever since I've been doing grid, they get a lot more grid things to look at. So they're on my journey as well.
Board rolls, Bermuda rings.
So, who's Jeffrey saying still an echo? Yeah, I just think with 5 people on here, I don't know, Jeffrey. Something's happening, but there is still a bit of an echo. But let me see.
Dang, Nate.
I think it's Taylar. I still think it's Sturgis.
The most I think you've had so far.
For grid, definitely. I think I would say for grid, yes. For plate stack chat as well, I think so. Hold on. I'm just going to mute Taylar a second. Well, Sturgis a second and see if that stops it.
It does. For sure.
It does. He is the cause of the echo.
He is the issue.
Is it his headphones?
Let's keep him muted until it's time for him to
I
talk.
told you can't let us. You couldn't let both me and T Sturge on here. It'd have been trouble.
Sturge, if you want to speak, raise your hand. That's
yeah.
Like a small child, raise your hand, and we'll see if we'll call you.
We need to get him one of those cards that you use at auctions. He can just hold it up and.
Or just hey, he's at the box. They must have like the little mini whiteboards. He
There
can
you
just
go.
write his comments. Hi.
He's gonna have to go to the bathroom.
He's gone for a walk.
But about what you're talking about,
Yeah.
Big Boss Taylar, it's not about fear. It's like a healthy. It's just respect. Like we hold her to such a high standard because of who she is, and not just the person that she is in the sport, but the person that she is, like, to the core of her just being a wonderful human. And I haven't had a very, like, extensive history with her, but, like, just being on this team for the short time that I've been on the team, I know that every single person looks up to her and holds her to a high standard because of the person that she is and how she carries herself and how she coaches us. And that, to me, is why I feel the way that I feel. It's like, yeah, we're scared because we know we better stay in line, but it's a healthy fear and respect.
Oh, that was a roller coaster because
Right.
initially I was like, wow, I was like, I'm not sure if there's a Rookie of the Year award per team that maybe the coaches are giving out, in which case you were really, campaigning for it. And it was all of that. And then just at the very end, you're like, yeah, of course we are scared, but that's, to help you.
Well, I mean, we don't want to mess up. Like, we literally don't want to mess up because we know. I mean, she's like, y'all, let's go. We got things to do. You're on the team for a reason. Do your job, and that's why you're here. So we respect that.
Right, I'm going to see what happens when I unmute Sturge.
I'm free. Whew.
Yes, that's so much better.
Is it better?
It is better.
Yes.
Had to put you in the corner.
So it was the first one here and the one causing the most trouble. So that's interesting.
I will attest. I think Taylar is very scary, especially when you have to get on camera and film your workouts because that paragraph is coming of all the things you did wrong. It's like, hey, you're 2 seconds too slow, and it's like, all right, here we go again.
For real. Now that part is true because she's gonna tell you that's not fast enough.
Into the direct messages, the private messages.
Yep.
I mean, what would have been great is if at that moment you had all gone, we don't get that. Sturge, that's just you.
Exactly.
I think everybody has a few or several private messages from me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think Taylar is still echoing. Hold on, let me mute him again. He does. He echoes. Yeah.
Maybe the headphones.
Taylar, hold on. It's fine. You can hear it, right? Can you mute and unmute yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. Just do that. If you want to jump in, just unmute and throw it in. There we go. Extra work. I know, a little bit of admin for you, but unlike Ryan, you didn't tell me that you're not good at tech support. So
I'm a little bit better on the tech side than Ryan, so I'll manage.
Yeah, I'm assuming if you're an affiliate owner, you're having to do everything anyway. So that's usually the way it works. So that's fine. Where's Ryan? He's over there.
Yep.
I had a question. Oh yeah, you were saying about, yes, this is definitely the most people I've had on for a grid episode. It's the most I've had for Plate Stack Chat. I think maybe we were 5 people. I did a show that wasn't under like the Plate Stack Chat umbrella, but it was after someone got injured at semi-finals, and we had a load of people on. It was kind of like a roundtable discussion on like protocol with kind of letting athletes continue to compete when they're injured. And I think maybe that was 5 people, but that was 5 people like that were different people and had different points of view. So this is interesting to see a team, the team dynamic. And if Taylor's like cracking the whip behind the scenes to be like, make sure you represent us in a good way.
We all from the South, so I grew up Southern Baptist. So my parents always told me like to make sure when you go out the house, like you represent this family, don't make us look crazy. So, it's the exact same idea on this team too. I'm like, we about to go out on this grid, don't make us look crazy now.
Is that what you say before they go out? Is that like the?
Probably a few more colorful words.
So that would, it does make me think that that's something I'd like to say. So I know Grid listens to this, and Ruby, I know you're probably listening to this. So we've talked about 2 things that we think would be good to add to like I've just realized I'm looking at the wrong camera. Would be good to add to the start of the grid matches. So one was intro songs when you come out.
Man, yeah.
Which I have realized I have been thinking about. This is when I'm thinking about things off pod as well. They wouldn't be able to broadcast that on YouTube probably, because I imagine you would all choose songs that would then get them like copyright strikes if they play them. So that would have to just be for the in-person crowd. That's fine. I can live with that because I'll just see you all looking happy anyway. But miking up some of the coaches, like before the matches, that would be interesting.
They have done that a few times. I've seen a few clips of where they got in I didn't know they had a microphone in, but they got some clips of some of the coaches around the league, and they got to me. I'm like,
I think I'll tell Cassie maybe wear something a little bit more subtle next time, so you can sort of sneak up with a microphone. Otherwise,
I've been calling Taylar the LeBron James of Grid League for a while now. So I think if you'd mic her up, that would be something special.
and then you could keep it because you're also, you're not just a coach, but you're also a player. So then we can also hear you kind of on the grid as well.
Oh, you don't want to hear me on the grid.
Yeah.
Taylor, I yelled Taylor on his first on match 1 in the middle of the mirror.
I'll never forget your voice in that moment. That was a crazy experience for me.
I'll never forget your voice. Wow. I'm like, is that a compliment?
I would love to hear Tiff mic'd up though, because she is just, man, absolute, just everything she does is content worthy. All the energy, all the crazy sayings. I would love to see Tiff mic'd up on the sidelines or in the finish zone, just cheering everybody on.
Tiff is one of our assistants. She used to be an ace, but she helps us out each year. But she's always at the finish line, and you can hear her over everything. She comes out in like a little tutu. She's in the brightest colors and everything, but she's passionate.
Okay, I will be watching on the live stream now for her. Let's see.
Well, the only voice that's louder than Tiff's is Taylor's.
Maybe it's like a competition. They're just going head to head. At a certain point, it's got to like reach a peak and it just can't get any louder. But I don't know. Vegas, it's a big place. Maybe you're going to reach new heights. So yeah, Grid is saying it will happen for sure. So I'm assuming that means you're going to get mic'd up at some point, Taylor. So congratulations.
Heck yeah.
Is this the team that was trying to recruit John Young? Did you ever try to recruit John Young? No, you've got enough strength specialists. I would think he would probably be like a strength guy. So you don't need him. I'm assuming it was probably the Venoms when they were trying to recruit people this season, maybe. I don't know.
I've tried to recruit a lot of people, but not that one.
Oh, I really want to ask follow-up questions. But, okay, maybe. Why not that one? Yeah. Sometimes her facial expressions are louder than the words that come out. Okay. I'm not sure if we're now speaking about you or not, but yeah. Does she know who John Young is? I think so.
No, I don't.
You don't? Oh, okay.
Here's that. I know a lot of names. I don't know that name.
No, that's fine. Wouldn't worry about it. I'm afraid of Taylor. She's sweet, but that's maybe. Oh, hold on.
Because we're on the programming side.
I haven't seen the other side. Yeah. Are you going up against?
He's trying to butter me up now because we play his team first.
Is it first? I was going to say because I should look up the. Hold on. Speak among yourselves. Tell me something interesting while I quickly try and pull up the Grid League matches for Vegas.
I met Artur for the first time at the last match because he started doing my barbell programming, and I was like, "You are a tall drink of water." So in my head, I feel as if I'm at least 6 feet, but I'm like.
I will say, Taylor, that's how you carry yourself too. Because when I saw you for the first time, I was like, "What is this short little thing?" I thought you were so much bigger.
Me too. Me too.
You too.
You said me too.
I'll tell you what. The first time I met Taylor, was that the 2020 CrossFit Games that we met, or the
2022? 22, yeah.
Yeah, I met Taylor. We were walking around at the vendor village in the 2022 games, and I went up to there was like an Alico booth, and they had a competition where it was Grace
barbells and boobs.
Yeah. It was Grace, and the fastest time won a barbell or something. I'm looking on the board, and I happened to see Taylar there, and I was like, oh man, I was like, she looks like she can move some weight, and so I went and did it and got through it, and I was dying at the end, and then Taylar just walks up behind me and dusts my time doing it, and was like, oh, I wish we could have done snatches instead. I wish we would have done Isabel instead. And I was just like,
that probably would have been worse.
I was sitting over there just still trying to catch my breath, trying to get my legs to not be just, locked up from all the clean and jerks. And I was like, what in the world? And then it clicked. I was like, oh, this is the girl that is on Nate's team, my buddy who was on the Aces at the time. And I was like, makes sense. Okay, now I know what it's like.
It's short. That's what she likes. Things that are quick. Get it over with quickly. That's the goal. We are being asked if you know the times. Can you remember?
When I want to say when I did it, it was like 2:55, something like that. And then Taylar beat me by a good, I would say 20 seconds. And since then, every ladder, every mirror we've been doing, I've been trying to track her down, and she always manages to outpace me.
Wow, it's always good to have something to chase, isn't it? Who are you chasing, Taylar? Who are you chasing? Just your shadow, I guess. You're just.
Oh God, everybody. I don't sleep on anybody because I know everybody's trying to always come after you. So I'm trying to chase after everybody else.
Oh, speaking of people coming after you, the closest segue I'm going to get to this is I responded to a post of yours the other day, and I can't remember if it was a story or it was a post on your Instagram, just on the grid, but it was about the ringer points. You'd put something up about the ring. So you wanna enlighten me on the story behind that? Because
No, this is fun. I'm competitive. Like, people who know me, I'm extremely competitive, but I am also very quiet, and I try to be humble as much as possible. But grid is fun. There's a lot of not characters, a lot of great athletes out there that keep on calling themselves like, I'm the king of the ringer, from the ringer point, whatever. And like, it's fun. It's like, I love how they go back and forth. But I've been hearing it a lot. Some a few of them try to call me out some things, but I just wanted to poke something in there and be like, okay, that's cute, but remember who invented remember who invented the word closer in the sport. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So I like to poke fun in there. But it just
I will say Taylar has always, she's checked me on it and a couple others of like, this is not an individual sport. So she doesn't let you have an individual moment. She says, this is for the team, and we do what's best for the team always. 100%. That's been my experience. She told me one time, she's like, hey, get that main character energy out of here.
What was he doing? What was he doing that caused you to tell him to like, hey, just
no, because it's not even that he does anything. And that's one thing I love about this team, is that we recruit based off of the individual and the person first, and then the athlete. There's so many incredible athletes out there, but you have to be a good person first. And it's a team sport, because one ego can mess up a whole entire team. We've had that happen several times. But then it's hard because the majority of us come from a CrossFit background, and especially a team background. But even if it's CrossFit individual, you're so used to doing everything because you can. And that's not what this sport is. And so, we tell everybody each year that there's nobody is a hero. There's nobody who is the star of the team. That everybody's going to have a position to shine and show what they can do but we want to put everybody in the best position that's going to help us win. Not just because you can doesn't mean you should type of attitude.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Because it is that kind of like, well, I can do that. Even, and especially when it comes to maybe even the more complicated movements, the high school gymnastics, that someone who's going, well, I've got that skill. And again, if you're an individual CrossFit athlete and you've got that skill, you can, check that box. That's great, right? Like, that serves you so well. And you're having to say like, yeah, I know you can do it. They can do it faster. Like that's the end of the story, isn't it? It's like, it's great that you can do it, wonderful, but don't do it. Let them go and do it. At least you don't have that problem with Ryan. He's happy to let them do it.
Right. But even with that, sometimes it's not even about the fastest athlete. It's all about strategy as well, too. And that's the complicated and fun thing about the sport, too. That's why we have people, excuse me, test the same thing over and over again. We have some people who may be the fastest in this particular race, but because of rules and how things are playing out after that, they may not be able to do that because it doesn't flow with just the rules.
Right. So it's like, yeah, I know you can do this. And I know you're the best. You are the best on the team at this. But if you do this, we can't use you for this. And actually, this is where we need you. So like,
exactly.
And I guess you're saying you recruit on kind of personality as well. So do they all understand that? Does that make sense to everyone all the time? Or do you kind of sometimes have to really, I don't know, give them some gentle reminders, I guess? That sounds like the kind of reminders you give, Taylar. Gentle reminders that like, hey, I know you're good. You're wonderful. You're one of my favorite players. But if you dare think about doing this movement, that's it. Yeah, okay.
I think the majority of them, like, they got that because that's been probably like our initial conversation, just setting the tone out there at the beginning. But like we have some really good rookies, so we don't have to worry about that mindset. We do have a young buck, good old Julio. Like, Julio just turned 19, like literally probably a couple of weeks ago. Probably one of the most talented athletes you'll ever meet out there. He's made for the sport. He's 19 years old. He's full send the entire. So we gotta like rhythm pack in, like, Julio, stop. Stop.
I know we have to make sure Julio knows where to be, where not to be. Julio, don't do that. Come back here. No, it's not time to go yet. Like,
he's so
no, Julio,
because he can do everything, but we gotta reel him back in. It's like, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? Like, you're 185 pounds. We do not need you in the mirror, even though I know you can do it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think there is that like duality. You're going to have people that it's one of the things that I think when I first sort of started watching grid and stumbling across it, I did like that there was like, if you were just good at one thing, you could be really good at that, because that is, you know, as much as I love CrossFit competitions and watching CrossFit, and that it is, you know, especially I'm small and light. So the fact that we don't have like weigh-ins for anything, and they'll be like, okay, we're going to do reps of this with this lightweight. And I'm like, light? That's body weight. What do you mean lightweight? That's, I quite like the fact that it's like, no, okay, you don't have to do that. You can go and do this because you're good at this sort of thing. The thing that grid has humbled me with is that even the things that within CrossFit, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not a specialist in this area, but I'm much better at that, because you then get the bodyweight specialists. You're like, you're not even good at the gymnastics stuff, mate. You're mediocre across the board. I'm like, okay, that's so I will not be flying out to America to try and audition for any tryout for any grid teams anytime soon. But it's good to see, you know, how wonderful you all are. Jazz, so this is your first year on that. I know that Augustus is saying Ryan's been quiet for a while, so we need to get him to speak again. But Jazz has also been quiet, and you know, I want to hear from her. And Ryan wants to hear from her as well. It's your rookie season, right? This year. Yeah. What drew you in?
That's
apart
a long
from
story.
Taylar.
So
Don't say
Taylar. I want to make it very short. So initially my plan was to try to see if I could make the games as a master's athlete. But I had to have emergency surgery on some, it was just a fluke thing that happened the first day of the Open. And before that, Taylar and I had been communicating, like, so let me tell you this quick story as well about how I sent her a DM on IG, just popped in her inbox, and I was like, hey, I'm sort of interested in grid. Like, what is this about? How do you try out? And she was just like, you got some guts, girl. Sending me a message. And I was like, I didn't know what else to do, but I've been following you for a long time and I see what you do. And I think this might be something I would be interested in. So she and I started communicating. And then when I was wanting to try to go to the games or see if I could make the games as a master's athlete, I kind of backed off a little bit. I was like, I don't think I could do both of these at the same time. But then no more CrossFit, like competitive. So, and then she messaged me literally like 2 days after surgery and was like, hey, just a last ditch effort. Do you think this might be something that you want to do? And I was like, hell yeah, like sign me up. What do I need to do? So that's kind of how I got into it. And
2
she and I
days
were
after
communicating.
surgery. That's
Yeah, it was
Taylar,
crazy.
did you know she had surgery?
I did not. She's like, I just finished having surgery. I'm like, since when?
Yeah, it was kind of
Okay.
crazy. And I felt like it was meant to be.
I would ask with Jazmin, she reached out, and so like I get the messages all the time, like I want to try out for grid. Okay, I go straight to their Instagram. I looked at her Instagram, and I saw her running on her hands and then snatching 200 pounds and cleaning the jerky. I was like, I went back out like, don't talk to no other teams. I like, have you talked to somebody else? No. I'm like, good, block everybody. Don't talk to nobody else. We'll talk to you after the season.
Jazz, had you sent that message to anyone else?
I had not.
You had not.
I literally only messaged her, and then when she reached back out to me and was like, "Don't message anybody else," I was like, "Cool, I trust you. I trust you, girl." So I didn't.
Okay, I didn't know if it was similar to the messages I've sent in the past when I've been inviting people on here, where I've just written out a message and then like copy and paste to 20 different people and be like, hopefully one of these people will read it.
Right?
Just, like
no.
messaging all the teams, telling them how much you admire them, and you're like, oh, I really like what you do, and the way you handle your team. It's and if you say like it's so unique the way you look after your team, and then you're saying that to 5 different people. You're like,
sure. Nope, she was the only one. And as soon as she told me that, I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I won't.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of felt like if I did it, because I had looked at some of the other teams like on Instagram and stuff, but I was just like, I want to be led by her. It was kind of my thought process. So
now, how much of that decision was based on the uniform? Because the Aces have they get to wear black, which is pretty cool.
That's actually I didn't even think about that, but
it's the first thing I'm thinking about.
No. Well, and how about I ended up picking the wrong motherfucking uniform. I was so pissed. The first match, I go out there, I'm like, ooh, I get my little crop top, and I realized that I approved a damn men's jersey, so I was pissed. And so I'm like holding mine up, and I'm like, where are the sleeves? Where's the 6-pack so I can show my nope, didn't get that one. But what I realized is that
biceps, Jazmin.
Exactly.
That's
what
live.
I realized was that I love my uniform because I get to flex all my tattoos and my biceps while I'm out there on the grid.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you could see the comments, but Corey had already brought up the fact that you were getting to show off the guns on the show. So
thanks, Corey.
So I think he'll probably be happy to know that you made that mistake. Yeah.
Right. Like I was mad at first, and then I was like, you know what? I don't look too bad out there.
Yeah.
And I don't think those sleeves will fit your arms, honestly.
Right. That's what. Yeah. So I'm glad I wouldn't have busted the sleeves open.
Oh, I thought that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to be able to go out and then just tent and then just rip off and like, oh.
now that would have been awesome.
Like, that's how you get Rookie of the Year. It's got nothing to do with your performance on the grid. Like, you remember that time Jazmin came out flexed and her uniform just shot off and like the sleeves exploded? Yeah, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Dang it.
Right. Ryan's jumping in. I better shut up, otherwise Augustus will be on me. Ryan, what were you saying? Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying that what a moment that would have been. Go pick up a barbell and the sleeves immediately evaporate. That Avengers Hulk moment where they just rip out of the suit.
But yeah, I would say if Jazz doesn't do it, Ryan, you've got to do it. Like one of you's got to. You need to start like washing your jerseys now, like on an extra hot wash. Just shrink it a little bit.
What was it? Last year we had one of the guys who blew out the shorts.
Mm-hmm. Nate. Yeah.
Right.
Oh no.
Our boy Nate Jansen, he blew out the shorts. I don't know how Big Alex made it through it. Those shorts have the most willpower of anything I've ever seen.
Okay. Can you recruit them onto the team, Taylar? Maybe they'll be.
Oh, Alex is on the team.
No, the shorts. Apparently, they've got the most willpower. You just.
Oh gosh, that's a strange special because they were holding on to our boys' legs. Those are real MVPs.
That is so funny.
Oh,
not sneeze.
Hello, Sarah. Welcome. And I like that people already know that. People immediately went.
Start hating it.
I don't hate the chat. I love the chat. I live for the chat. It's just normally it's like me and one or two people. Well, it's always more than one person. So it's me and 2 or 3 other people, and I can glance across at the chat a lot. That's fine, but I'm trying to multitask many things today. And I made a mistake in that I forgot it was an inset day, so there's no school today for the kids. So I took my kids swimming, and when I got home, I don't know, why swimming makes you so tired. I was just exhausted, and then I was like, oh no, I've got an hour and I need to get to get on here. So yeah, but that's fine. I'm gonna pay more attention to the chat. Sorry, Augustus. Also, a lot of people talking about Jazmin's shoulders, which this is why
Thank you.
sometimes I ignore the chat. But
at this point, it's
someone
trademarked.
said-
So every year you have to go sleeveless from here on out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a trademark thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
you
Someone asked if I was Greek. Is it because of my accent?
No, it's because that's Jake. Jake always. So as of I don't know when it started. Who came on? Nikki. It was so we had one guest that he thought was maybe Greek. His wife, I believe, is Greek. So this is a regular question we get: is if the guest is Greek.
Okay. Well, I not.
don't.
Right?
It's because you're sculpted like a Greek god. That's why.
Oh yeah, come on with it. I'll take that.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Corey's saying it's just Jake. He's special.
Okay, Jake. I'm not Greek, Jake.
Yeah. Sarah saying it's not swimming that's exhausting, it's the kids. Sarah, that it's so true. That was my daughter came into our room at like 7 a.m. Like, are we going swimming? I was like, yes, at 11:50. That's when we're going swimming. And when we finally got to the pool, she was like, didn't want to get her head wet, didn't want to really engage with the water at all. So it was an interesting battle. But yeah, I'm just having to explain the chat. Okay, right. Yeah, Jan, I'll just pass over that one, mate. That's fine. Okay, very good. So, somebody sorry, I've got to look up something now again. This could end everything, but
oh gosh. Oh no.
Well, it's very rare that I get sent questions to ask. But somebody sent me some questions.
Questions.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's about Ryan. Okay.
Ooh, right.
Ooh.
Everybody's trying to get you to speak.
Ask about the controversy.
Uh-oh.
Was there some controversy around you last year, Ryan?
I mean, I don't know how there would have been controversy. It was my first year doing it, so
being named MVP.
Honestly, I didn't even see it until people started texting me and they were like, "Yo, congratulations!" And I was at work one morning checking emails and I was like, "What do you mean?" And I got the alert said, Grid League sent you an email, and I opened it up and my face was on there, and I was like, "Oh, well, cool." So, I mean, it was a surprise to me. My personal preference, I didn't think I just did my part. I did what I was told to do. I did what was asked of me. So I didn't think that I went above and beyond something that would register as like an MVP status. To me, there were a couple other teammates of mine that I thought did much more than I did, or did, what I consider, more valuable work. So I was surprised more than anything about it, that I got it. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like I said, controversy, that's controversy, implies other people's opinions and what they think of it. I said, I didn't vote for it. They do the voting on their own. So, I mean, if there was controversy, it wasn't known to me. Again, I'm also like 1,000 miles detached from Florida, from the entire community. So it's not like I was there in the judging booth or in the background.
Maybe that's the controversy. They're like, he's not even from Florida. How dare he?
But I mean that's what you want as the Grid League. And I was one of those things, when we were talking about, how Jazz DM Taylar and T Sturgis, did Taylar DM you too?
Yeah, Nate recommended me, and then I got a DM from Taylar, and I was like, "What?
Right.
Verified?"
Yeah, I mean, and that was one of those things. Just kind of wanted to parlay off of that. Was I think in terms of recruiting, Taylar does an amazing job of organically going and finding people. There's a lot of talent within the league, and you'll see, especially this year, you've seen a lot of people moving from one team to the next, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it makes for some good fun, but I think the league's overall goal is to expand out, and Taylar does a phenomenal job of finding people. I mean, you talk about people from all over the country. The first person that pops in my head is Christian Alvarez Diaz from Colombia, from another country. He came to play with us. Another one is going to be David Blatt, who's on the other side of the country. And Taylar, you found him when he was like 17, right?
17, 18.
Right. Olivia was from Alabama, and Taylar found her off of a Rogue qualifiers video. So I mean,
dude,
absolutely. So whenever you talk about recruiting and going and expanding and reaching out and creating those olive branches that start to weave across what the league's hoping to do and expanding out across the the states, she does a phenomenal job of finding those hidden gems that are not only just local but also far away, and then finding ways to bring them into the league to inject new talent, new personalities, things like that. So it was the same thing for me. I did a workout with Nate one day, and he videoed me. We were doing some cleans, and then the next day I got a DM from Taylar, and I was like, "This name looks familiar." And I texted him. I said, "Yo, is this the same person as your coach?" He said, "Yeah, you need to answer that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And we moved on from there. And that wasn't the first time that I had met Taylar either. Like I said, we met at the 2022 games, so that was about 6 months before that.
Together.
Right. And like I said, that it was just the strangest, just happenstance, coincidence. You can call it fate, whatever you want to call it. But it led me to being on the team and led to the run that we had last year and all the way through this year. So,
I'll say Ryan is very humble, because if you look at those impact scores every match, his name is always on that paper. Jazmin as well.
100%. Oh, thank you, sir.
So, I mean, these people are unbelievable on the floor, and they've taken so much volume. I mean, Ryan starts the match with the partner forward, and he's there all the way until the sprint. So he is very well versed, even though he's a strength specialist.
Exactly. Yep.
Don't say even though he's a spent. Oh, that sounds terrible.
It
No, actually,
he's almost
Ryan,
a utility player. He's almost one.
he's almost a utility player. Oh, one day, Ryan. No, keep your feet on the floor. Yeah, the chat. Many in the chat were also saying about how earned it was. It was earned. It was earned. Talking about him sprinting with the yoke, things like that. So, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know there was any controversy. I'm just, hey, if a message pops up and I'm intrigued. That's all.
right.
Taylar, is your hand up to ask a question? The only person that has to raise their hand to comment is Sturge. I've said that. Everyone else.
Because I'm going to toot Ryan's own horn, because he will not brag about himself. He asked a lot of him last year, as a rookie, too. His very first match, we worked his, I don't know what you say it, A off. All the way up until to the end, where he cramped up and he couldn't finish the sprint relay. But then one thing that happened with him that he learned from every single match, he had little mistakes throughout the whole season. But one thing that once he it messed up a little bit, he just ingrained that. And then the next time he didn't let that happen again. The yoke carry against the Sharks, he was literally neck and neck with the other girl, dropped it way too early, then came back in the finals and ran. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still running with it. Right now, it's just now, but I'm pretty sure he's still running with the yoke. But we've asked a lot from him all throughout the season, and he did nothing but learn from it and excel and carried us. So it was well deserved. There's no controversy, and it was voted on by the entire league and the leaders from each team. So.
Oh, I can't wait to find out who it is that was upset. It's just the one person. It should have been me, and then they've gone out on a campaign against you, Ryan. Sorry.
Always looking for some tea.
Yeah. Hey, and also the other thing you have to remember is, like, because of the time difference, a lot of the times, and even with like booking these, is like I'd send Taylar a message, and I'll reply to it in the morning when I wake up because I'm like, here's, like, oh, just send me the names. By the way, it's kind of almost midnight here, so I'm probably not going to read this until the next morning. So even with this, I'd put up the post with like who was coming on the show, and then I go to sleep, and then I wake up in the morning and I find a message and feel like, oh, you've got to ask about this. And I'm like, okay, let's find out. Disappointing that there's not more drama about it, but hey, we got to learn about you, so that's nice.
Sorry, I'm boring. I don't particularly subscribe to the drama and the tea. I like to just.
All you have to do is lift heavy things. That's what we said. We don't expect anything more from you. We don't expect tech support. We don't expect drama. Pick up the heavy things and don't put them down too early. That's the other thing we've learned. Make sure that you carry them over the line. Also, just going back to Jazz's story before, because Artis said that for some reason the league had his uniform as a long sleeve crop top. He messaged me before they were made.
For him, that's a long sleeve too.
That's probably was mine.
Well, I'm also thinking, I don't know if it was a crop top. It's probably they just ran out of material. we can't finish this. I assume that almost every top he wears is a crop top. It's just
right.
Guy's long. Okay. Very interesting. Also, where is he? I've got to scroll back through the comments. See, the same person who saying to me, "Why do I hate the chat? What's my problem with the chat?" Jason, when do you start hating the chat? And then a little bit later says, "Can we talk about Jason's haircut?" Here we are. Can we talk about Jason's haircut? It looks like a bad toupee.
Oh, shoot.
I have explained that I got my haircut and then I went swimming. That's why my hair looks all puffy and weird. Sorry. I just... Justice, you're making me hate the chat.
You just focus on keeping the questions coming. Like I said, it's not a fashion show. It's an interview. So as long as you guys...
That's right.
Who cares what the hair looks like?
That's right.
There's an audio version of this that goes out. People can't see anything. I mean, I'll be worried when they listen to this one because they're not going to know what's happening, but that's absolutely fine. So your first match is against the Palms, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that the heavier one?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Ryan, get ready. And then, who's your second match against? Lions. Ooh, that's the more gymnastic-y one then. Oh, Jazz, I mean, you're going up against like Paola and Eric, and they've got some high flyers.
No. Yeah, I'm not no high flyer. Okay, let me tell you what. In that match, you won't be seeing me flying and swinging and dangling from nobody's rings. Okay, so that will not be me in that match. She's got me in some other areas.
Okay. Don't reveal any secrets yet, but
okay, well, good, because that won't be me going against her. I'm glad.
I did also have another thought, Jazz. I don't want to upset you, but I just wondered how it felt when you heard that Taylar had messaged Taylar, that she'd messaged Ryan, but then you're having to message her to try and get on the team.
Well, I think she probably had no idea who I was. I mean, I followed her, and so does everybody. So, like she ain't thinking about me, and that's okay.
She's looking at rogue qualifiers. She's not
exactly,
looking at,
and I wasn't doing any of those.
The competitive
cheerleading jumping, no, and the crazy, not crazy. I actually messaged, I'm not going to name any names, an athlete that's in grid currently about like, what's the process? And they were like, oh, I don't know. I didn't have to try out. So like, I was like, oh, okay, excuse me. So I didn't take offense. I initially I did. So that's when I just went to her. I'm like, let me just go to the freaking horse itself. Like, I'm about to go find out how I need to get up on this team or what needs to happen. So and it wasn't on the Aces team though. So I will say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And don't tell me that you don't say that you call Taylar a horse to herself, right? Because I don't think that would have ingratiated you in any way that might have put you on the team.
You know what I meant. I went straight to her instead of going through other people. I'm like, let me just knock on this DM door and see what's up. Let's see what's on the other side.
Okay. But you do know,
reach
as
out.
soon as we end this and we're not live anymore, you have to tell us who you messaged.
Okay, I will.
We'll check that out.
Yeah,
Sure will.
I don't have to try out. Grid tries out for me. Oh,
Exactly. I don't try out. Was that okay? Excuse me.
I mean,
glad to know.
I think Taylor, I think you made me do the grid trials too. Anyways,
Look. I tell everybody, encourage everybody to still do the grid trials because it's a good way to make money as well too.
yeah.
So, so I'm like, look, this is a good opportunity. One, we get to see what we need to see. Two, if you can make some money in the process, great. But
Right.
Three, block everybody else because now you're being exposed to everybody. So I try to get that early.
Some of those grid trials they're damn near on par with the matches that we do. Because I remember doing some of them and I was like, man, if I got to do some of these, whoo boy, I can't imagine what matches were like. And then you get out there and you're like, oh well, this isn't that bad. I mean, because they had some ones in there, they were pretty rough.
Okay, I've got a question. This is good. So very naturally, this has happened. Like every show where I've had the different grid teams on, and I'm like it. There's always just something comes up about like the bigger picture of grid that we haven't talked about. So it was like the format of some races. We talked a bit about kind of the structure of teams and having to kind of sub people in and out and things like that. All of these things have come up. We haven't spoken about the tryouts at all, and I'm interested now. So first, let's just be absolutely clear, everybody. I'm not asking for myself because there is no way.
Come on, don't be scared, Jason.
I'm terrified. So there is no way I'm trying out. But the questions that I have are there different tryouts for like the different, so, I want to try out as a bodyweight specialist. I want to try out as a strength specialist. I mean, utility player, they just try and do everything, guys. That's what you're going to be doing anyway. So have you got like when you went in, you're kind of like clicking a link to like, this is the tryout for a strength specialist then? Or is it kind of a mixed bag? You've got to do a bit of everything. How's it work?
Well, when you sign up for the trials or whatever, but then they release all the workouts, and then you just take a video, or you decide, the athlete decides which ones that they want to try out. So you don't have to necessarily say or declare what you're trying out for. If you just see a workout on there that you can crush, you just try out for it.
Right. So, okay. Do you have to do like a certain number of workout? You could just do one.
Yeah, just do one. Then knock it out. Or you can be like my guy Thor, who literally does every last one of them for I think 2 years. He will register as a prospect and win almost all of the matches. I mean, all of the races and exercises. It still wouldn't sign up to be a part of the league. We're like, you can't keep doing this and taking the money and not being a part of this. So
this clickbait you're giving us.
But I'm excited that he when he decided to join last year. So he's been great.
So how long had he been doing that? How long had he been doing that then? Like signing up, doing the qualifiers, and then not
2-3 years straight. He was just racking up money. I'm like, look, this is not a job, sir.
That is clever though. That's
start sending out a 1099 to him. I'm saying.
All the poor coaches looking at the submissions, going, ooh, and then just like, no, good.
Yeah. So he only joined last year. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? That was his rookie year with the Wilds. Okay. Because maybe, Taylor, you didn't message him in time saying block everyone else. That's the problem.
We've had conversations during the summer, like, sir, are you going to do this or not? We've had that conversation.
Yeah. That's why he ran away to another team. He's like, no, I can't.
He signed up. I'm like, okay,
she won't put up with me. She'll call me out for all the past year. She'll ask me to pay back the money I kept stealing for the last couple of years by doing the qualifiers and not playing for grid.
I like if you are in the one with me, you're not gonna steal my money though.
Facts.
Wow. So yeah, okay. So you said the second match is against the Lions. Okay. But Jazz is not going to be high flying. She's going to be doing other like mid-flight That's what we're expecting.
Yes, that's
Sort of like-
great. Mid-flight, I like that.
yeah. It's that kind of like that like hovering over a bar as you do like the kind of burpee over the bar over the box or something like that.
Yeah, something like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where you fit in on the team then. So like your team seems to be structured. I mean, this is a real bold claim now on my part, but I'm gonna say I see you really playing to those 3 different roles quite strict, if that makes sense. Of like, you're a strength specialist, you're a bodyweight specialist, you're utility, and if you're like in Ryan's case, if you're a strength specialist, guess what you're doing? The strength stuff, right? That's your job. Whereas I see other teams are blending a lot the line of like, I'm a strength specialist, but give me a med ball and I'll jump up on that bar and do a few like med ball bar muscle ups and stuff like that. But I feel like you're a bit more kind of divided into the categories to a degree. Am I kind of reading that correctly, or?
Yeah. So we have a little bit deeper of a squad, and so we are very fortunate that we can kind
It's
of
a luxury.
It's a luxury where we can kind of play to that because we do have that depth, but we also have incredible talent on the team as well too. So even though we try to keep people in their roles as much as possible because it just keeps everybody safe and feeling as fresh as possible, there's definitely with the formats and some of these skills where we can allow some of our strength specialists to fly a little bit, or some of our body weight people to be a part of some of the strength work, or our utility people to kind of veer towards one end or the other. So we have that luxury for us.
Okay, I see. All right, here's another question. This is very loaded towards you, Taylar. Is as the coach?
Oh,
no, not that Taylar. Sorry. Does this happen? Does this happen on the team? No, this doesn't happen. This doesn't get confusion between your names, like when people are talking to you. I bet it does happen.
TNT special.
I bet it happens when people are saying like about when they're maybe a little bit upset with something you've done to them, Taylar. They're like, oh, I can't believe she said this about the video I sent in. He's what the corrections going to start like, and then as you walk past and you hear something, they'll be like, no, I was talking about Taylar. That's Sturgis. Yeah, I sent him a funny video and he was really mean with his reply. Yeah. So I've seen that. Obviously, are you the one making all the calls for like who's doing which parts of the race and like formatting the structure of the team for this match, or is there someone else helping you do that? How heavily? Basically, what I want to know is you obviously have to put yourself in the team as well, and so we've talked about kind of knowing who's the best person to be, and making sure that they, even if maybe they think they should be the person in here, maybe they're not the right person because of other things. But you have to do that for yourself as well.
Yeah, so it's me and Terry Howard. We're owners and co-head coaches, and so him and I, we get together weekly and we go over. Actually, we have a programming meeting later on today where we sit literally for hours and we just look at the structure of the team and play out every single scenario. I like to play devil's advocate, be like, but what if this happens? Then what are we doing here? So we try to figure out plans A, B, C, and D, and sometimes Z. And we play with every single different scenario. And then while I'm playing, he's on the sidelines. And in between the races, we'll get together. We'll kind of talk things out and try to make decisions accordingly. But I try to be as much of an athlete as possible and then try to coach on the grid if I see some things happening there. But he runs the sidelines, and then Tiff on one end, and then we have if athletes aren't in a particular race, then we have athletes on the sidelines, kind of getting everybody organized on the sidelines. So it's a team effort.
Right. Do you have to send him videos of your workouts that he can reply with? Should have done that faster.
I put it in the group. I put my stuff.
Put it in the group.
Listen, let me tell you, when Taylar puts her videos in the group, like every time she posts something in there, I'm completely mind blown. Like we'll have to, because we're constantly adding our videos and putting them in there, and I'm like, man, yeah, that felt like that was faster. I did better on that, and I'm thinking as I'm like putting it in there, like, yeah, I got 2 seconds faster. Literally, she posts a video and it's like 8 seconds faster than like anything I could have ever done. And I'm like, dang, how does she move like this? It's incredible. It's amazing.
And then Ryan starts getting flashbacks to the CrossFit Games when she beat his time, and he's like,
videos, and then critiques herself in the videos as
Right.
well. So it's one of those beautiful things where it's like, you always have that moment where you're like, you want to be able to, comment whenever, your coach or whatever, puts something up, and you're like, depth looks a little bit sketchy. Taylar beats you to the punch. She's like, these can be faster. My depth needs to work more. I'll get better. And you're like, well, sounds like I need to do the same.
Exactly.
She's like, I only beat Ryan's time by 8 seconds. I really should have beaten by 10. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
We like to play with the boys too, especially on the mirror, because we have this little head-to-head. We're like, come on, boys, like you got to keep up with the girls.
Hey, now.
But y'all been killing it. Y'all been killing it. Y'all close the gap.
You get tired of being picked on. We're trying to keep up now.
Yeah.
Y'all been killing it. So.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think the idea is that you're supposed to mirror each other.
Weights heavier for the ladies too, so it can be an even race.
They're advocating. I know, Ruby, you're on there.
Uh-huh.
I ask every year.
So you agree that you want the weights to be heavier for the women?
Of course, the women in the league are strong as hell.
Ridiculously.
Yeah. This is my only. It's not even a criticism. It's like just an observation. In that I definitely feel if you've got strong women on your team, there's an advantage across matches, because often like whenever you're sharing a barbell, if you've got a strong woman that can clean it and they've got a strong guy that can cluster it, there's just no contest. Like it's so much faster to do the cleans, and I get that. Yeah, but it's heavier for I know, but if she's really strong and it's not that big a struggle to clean it, even if for him it's light and he can cluster it quickly, just the mechanics of the movement it's just longer. And then I guess the similar thing with the mirror, right? If the barbell if it feels that it's sort of averaging out slightly lighter for the majority of the women than it is for the men, like when you're looking at like top end strength, it is going to be easier for them. So yeah, okay. As you said, Ruby, get on that. Let's see. I can't wait.
Taylor's the only exception, though. She's the exception. Like it, I 100% believe you could probably throw Taylar in the guys' ladder, and she would still hold her own. It'd be up there with most of the regular guys. I mean, if you ever want a perfect video of just that, you can go. What was it when we played the Wild last year, and you and Big Alex were down there, and one of the commentators even said they were like, we don't know if she's going to put that barbell down or give Alex even a chance. And just because she just cycling it so fast, moving it so fast, it's like, well, hey, let her do her thing. Let her cook.
Yeah. I mean, it clearly works.
I'm old now, so I was like, no, here. Yeah.
I'm old now. I am curious. I mean, it feels like there's a lot of masters athletes in the grid teams. I've noticed that across. I mean, Jazz, you were saying like you were trying to make it to the games as a master. So I'm going to go out on a limb and assume you're a masters athlete. You've also told us you've got a 19-year-old that you're trying to wrangle and control. So maybe
19.
That's why.
No, she's 6. I'm a 6-year-old.
Our team,
on the team, I was saying.
Oh, I was like, wait, what? 19-year-old? I'm not that old.
No.
I'm like, come on now, Jason, you trying to play me?
No. Hey. I would never.
Okay, you're right. Julio, the golden retriever. Yes.
I'll never forget when Jazmin told me her age. I think my jaw dropped to the floor. I was like, "Oh, she's a rookie. How old are you?"
Okay. Oh, wait. Don't tell us yet, then, Taylar. Hold on. If anyone in the chat wants to guess,
guess. Tell me what they say. Tell me what they say.
How old, Jazmin? We'll give you a few minutes, and then we'll come back.
Let me show you my wrinkles.
Corey said 19.6. Same thing.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
And I reckon Taylor's feeling that sometimes on the grid when you're trying to control these 19-year-olds and you're going, yeah, it's the same. It is the same. You're like a 6-year-old. I think like whenever we took the kids to the box, like you walk through the door and within seconds they are swinging on the rings every single time. It's the rings, right? Like they're just there. Oh, the rings, right? It doesn't matter what we're meant to be doing there. Go to the rings. That's it. Like go on the rings and swing. So I think that's. I have a 17-year-old and a 6-year-old at home, so I feel that. So Corey's talking from experience.
Oh my.
That's how I feel like we are with Julio. He's like, go to the rings.
Have you got any other young players on the team then, or is he like an outlier in the East? Because I've seen this year particularly, they've highlighted some younger, even those that were doing what we haven't spoken about this on the show, I think, but like the kids, the grid kids as well. So like you've had people that have gone up doing that, and now they're playing in the big leagues.
Like, yeah, 2 of them on the brigade. They're killing it.
Yeah. So
the next youngest on the team, maybe 25. Is it Trish? Maybe.
That's an interesting jump, though, isn't it? Like jump up to 25. So I'm just curious. What do you think kind of attracts? Is it because you can specialize in those particular elements, and that's maybe a bit easier when you're, I don't know, a masters athlete, that you're like, I'm still very strong, and as long as you're not making me do loads of butterfly pull-ups, I'm really good in a competition, so I can come and still pick up heavy weights and feel good.
Yeah, it's I think because we're older, it's about training smarter. But you still have that itch. Like I feel as if I'm gonna be that 92-year-old that's still gonna be out there trying to lift against everybody or whatever. But back in my day, you remember YouTube?
Remember YouTube before the ads?
But so I think it's one of those things where you just have that itch and you start to specialize in the things that you know you're great at, because you still want to do it, and it hurts a little bit less. Still hurts, but it hurts a little less. But also you have to be good at everything. It's just 2 different domains.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to be good at everything. I do CrossFit. I'm not good at anything, so that's the other option. Don't be good at anything, but then don't expect glory in anything either. So that's the way I live.
I think the difference in age is it provides a really unique like learning experience, especially when you get younger athletes coming in. They've got the energy and the enthusiasm to want to do everything. And sometimes, a lot of them, because they've got so much energy, they never quite know how to focus it or kind of how to maximize their potential. And it's always nice having that kind of variety of different people at different ages and different stages of their, whether it's competitive career or just fitness journey in general, that can provide kind of insight and give you those, kind of guiding lessons or provide guidance so that you can, learn to not kill yourself. I know whenever I got started, it was a blessing having Nate here to let me know, like, hey, dude, you don't need to do 5 sets of 10 of 185-pound thrusters to be ready for this match. Like, you're strong enough, do it, get comfortable doing it, and then leave it at that. Like, you don't need to do Metcon on long conditioning piece. And whenever you're coming into the gym, it's okay to take rest days. It's very competitive, but at the same time, you can't be competitive if you're crippled or broken. And so having, older athletes who understand and value that and value what recovery does and what resting can do for your body in terms of you being able to give maximum output. It provides a huge learning platform and a huge advantage to those younger athletes, because, instead of having to live through it and suffer through, that achy shoulder or the bad knee. And I mean, hell, even Julio now, he's already got, he was struggling with the knee thing, and it was literally all of us telling him, we were like, Julio, he'd post videos. He'd be like, just did 3 workouts, about to hit these testers. And we were like, take a break. Literally in the messages, we were like, Julio, you need to stop, do it tomorrow. But I mean, they don't, like I said, they don't know that because they haven't experienced it. And so I love the fact that we have that and that kind of unique opportunity to learn from people who have done it already and made those mistakes and earned those scars and bruises.
I love that Ryan sits in the corner quite quiet and then he comes out with something very profound and sort of deep, yeah. I like the idea that he does that. I mean, that's the strength specialist, right? He's sitting in the corner, he's just waiting. It's like you all run around, you're swinging on ropes and on bars and rings and
That's
things.
just strength specialist. There's a barbell on a chair next to it for 2 to 3 minutes of rest in between sets, man. That's
yeah. Watching everyone else, observing, then just calling them over. Julio, come here. I need to tell you. I need to share some sage wisdom with you. Stop training. Just slow down. Yeah. Okay. So far, the only one we had come in was Corey. Was guessing 37 for Jazmin. So
good guess. Good guess.
Good guess as in correct, or good guess as in close?
Close. I'm 39. I'll be 40 in April.
39. Okay. Wow. So you're just waiting.
Older than me. I thought I was older than you. Months.
Oh, how old are you, Taylar?
I'm 39.
39 as well. Okay.
My birthday's in June.
Now,
come on, 85, baby.
That's right.
That's the same age as my brother.
And I'm a 95 baby, so
oh Lord,
got a whole decade on me.
Whoa.
Ryan, you want to chip in with the year you were
born?
Oh
yeah, I'm a 95 kid as well. So
dang.
We got them all. I mean, we got 85 to 95. Julio's like what 2004.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. I was like, I don't know.
To feel older.
We got 3 different decades, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So I'm 87 as well.
Nice.
So I'm sitting in between the two groups that you've got on here, and I'm struggling with hearing things like the late 1900s and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, whoa, hold on, oh, what are you talking about? That's
say that.
Like, yeah. And having to like ask Google or ask Siri like the meaning of words now and stuff when my kids come home and start saying
right
telling us this stuff. I'm like, okay, I didn't think I was going to get there, but here I am. I'm an old man who doesn't know the terms anymore, so that's interesting. But I know things like EMOM and Metcon and AMRAP and stuff like that, so we've got our own language. So who cares what the kids are saying at school? It doesn't matter. Arthur, I cannot believe she will answer this, but hey, do you want to tell us which ringers you're choosing for Friday?
The ones that are going to go faster than you.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Eek.
And Arthur also agrees that the weights for the ladies should be heavier, too easy for them. So there we go. Interesting. Well, it's been exciting. I just feel a little bit bad for the other Taylar because I kept muting him. He could be quiet in the corner.
I would try to turn it on every now and again, and then he would mute me.
No,
I just want to talk.
Tell the truth. That happened once. There was one time that you unmuted yourself. I thought you were going to say something, but then you were very patiently waiting for I think Taylar to finish talking, but the echo had come back.
Go through the mic. I was like, well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Taylar. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everything you wanted to say. I apologize.
You know what though, Taylar? You're an affiliate owner, so I will be running a whole series of like affiliate owner shows as well. So let's get you back on for that. And then
I'll have to like foam the walls and stuff. Or not choose a max out day because it's really hard for like there's one guy in there. I know he just keeps turning it up every lift he does. So
yeah.
But it sounds better. I think it was your headphones.
I think it was your headphones because now we're not hearing the echo.
Yeah, we don't hear it all now.
Techie with my headphones and it is what it is.
All the cool people wear headphones. I understand. I get it. I get it. Even if I was born in '87, I understand. I know that's the trend, right? Wear big headphones when you're on a podcast.
Yeah, I haven't heard the late 1900s one yet, and I don't want to hear that one for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty devastating.
Your knee and shoulder at the same time.
Yeah, it's like it is now though. Like looking at workouts and just like we had a workout the other day, and it was like 3 rounds and a break, then 2 rounds and a break, and then 1 round. And like in the first 3 rounds, there were like 10 chest to bar pull-ups, and then in the second there was like 15 toes to bar for the 2, and then it was bar muscle ups on the final one. And all I was thinking is, oh, that's so much kipping, and my shoulder's gonna hurt. Like it's nothing to do with like, give me strict pull-ups, fine, anything like that, but lots of kip, I'm just like, oh, that's just gonna hurt my shoulder tomorrow. I'm gonna be moaning about that. Like it's not the workout itself. It's just sort of the, oh, I'm just getting old and my joints hurt. So
yeah, it must be the year for me, because I've dealt with a number of injuries this year that has put me back. You can ask Taylar. She's like, I don't know what's going on down there, but you need to stop whatever you're doing.
Whatever water there over there. Drink the bottled water. I don't like that.
Phil Ward says, voting for affiliate owner Alex Escado, is that? Decimate to be featured. Like, shoot me a DM, tell me who that is. Like, send me their name and I'll do it. No problem.
Their new gym in Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, Sophia? Yeah.
Yeah. Sophia and the other co-coach, Terry, they go to that gym.
Yeah. Well, we'll wrap this up with this, because then I'll go to let you guys get to training and prepping for Vegas. But initially, I planned to get all the affiliate owners in the UK. That was sort of my initial goal. I was like, oh, what I'll do is like, I'll keep the same format of the show that I do anyway, where I quite often like will have like a games athlete and someone in the media, or an adaptive athlete and a masters athlete. So it's kind of this nice interaction between different people. And I thought, well, I could keep that same format, but I could just have affiliate owners from different parts of the UK, and then they can, like, what's working well, what struggles are they having? You kind of learn from each other's experience. That'd be quite nice. And I mentioned it, and as soon as I mentioned it, someone messaged me like, oh, you need to have this person on, who was like one of the affiliate managers for kind of all the Scandinavian parts of Europe and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, we've missed the boat on it being the UK. So I figured, well, you know what, if you can't beat them, join them. So let's just open it up to globally now. So cool. There'll be episodes that are very CrossFit focused, where it's games after we're leading up to Rogue. So I've got people coming on for that. There's all the grid stuff, because I'm going to get through all of you guys before Vegas, and then I need after action reports. I need to talk to them about what happened at Vegas, obviously. So that's going to be, so I have to go around the teams again, and then there's going to be affiliate type ones as well. So busy. Anyway, that's so Taylar, Sturgis, you're welcome to come on any of those. We could talk about grid, we could talk about CrossFit, we could talk about affiliates.
I will say Vegas has been like, or the Mr. Olympia show, like growing up, was like a huge, like almost like a Super Bowl to me, because my parents grew up in the bodybuilding space. My stepdad owned a nutrition store. So this whole Vegas trip is like a dream come true in its own way for me. So I'm ready.
That's cool.
There we go.
Yay.
Okay, I think that is as good a thing to end on as anything, right? That's a nice, positive, upbeat comment from Taylar. We've got to let him speak as well.
Close it out.
Really good. Well, thank you, Taylar, Ryan, Jazmin, Taylar. Okay, I'm gonna really try and stress the differences. TNT. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to speak to you. All the best in Vegas. The struggle I am having is chatting with all the teams. I want everyone to win, because now I know everyone. And like before, it was easy because I could just sit, on the other side of the planet, watching through the live stream, being like, all right, yeah, okay, I like this team, I want them to win. And now I feel like I have a personal connection with everyone. So it's gonna. But at the same time, it means for me, everybody wins. So that's good. But yeah, happy to see grid exploding the way it is, getting bigger and bigger. Vegas will be like awesome. Can't wait to watch that next weekend. So soon. I'll be in the live chat if anyone wants to join me there. So all the best with the kind of last minute preparation, training, rosters, reining in 19-year-olds that want to do everything, like all of the hard work you've got to do. Ryan, we'll let you go and pick up some heavy things now, because you've been sat in a chair for too long, and so have fun with that. Thank you everyone for watching, and sorry if there was some confusion about the earlier one that was set for 8 a.m. That should be 8 p.m. So I will be back on in an hour and a half more or less, to talk about your competition. So don't worry about that. You don't need to tune in for that one, guys. You can you do if you're listening, but I'm talking to the aces themselves. They don't need to hear that. So thank you, everyone. And I guess we'll wrap it up there. Well done.